It is Friday, October 25th, 2019. We are live in New York City, as you can tell, in the corner of 4th and Broadway here on Build Series. I'm Kevin Kenny, and I'm surrounded right now, not by Louis Tomlinson fans, I learned the hard way this week on Twitter, by Louis. Now, I'm just going to talk to some Louis here. What is your favorite thing about Louis Tomlinson, really quick?
He's carefree, he's amazing, he's handsome. That's it.
What's your favorite Louis song?
Back to You.
Okay. What are you most excited about Louis on tour next year?
Going to see him live.
Yes, that's a good reason. All right, now let's head inside. If you have been living under a rock for the past decade and want to know a little bit more about our guest today, our special guest today on Build Series, Louis Tomlinson was a member of one of the most successful groups in modern music history. He has sold, as part of One Direction, over 100 million records around the world, and now as a solo artist, he has already, in such a short period of time, crossed the 1 billion streams mark globally. Without further ado, for the first time ever on Build Series, ladies and gentlemen, Louis Tomlinson. Right next to you.
Here I am, yeah.
We're in good company this evening, afternoon.
How's everyone doing all right? Good, good.
This is your first time ever on the show, and we appreciate you making some time for us here on a Friday afternoon. An exciting Friday, big news week for you. But just to put into context for you, Louis, we rarely have people in the hallway. There's so many people. We have people in the hallway, we have people upstairs. We also have people behind Louis. I don't know if we get a shot of that, but that is just about insane.
Oh, you guys, yeah.
They're overjoyed, but thanks so much, man. And you know what I want to kick off with? I think in this industry, and I think you'll agree with me, you get congratulated for a lot of stuff. You go on Twitter, I'm sure your mentions are all just like, you're the greatest thing ever. You get congratulated. Trust me, I was on Twitter with you guys this week, I know. But you get congratulated a lot of time for materialistic things like awards, things like chart accomplishments. I want to just, in front of some of your biggest fans here, congratulate you on something that is so hard to do in what you do for a living, and that's find your sound. Work through all of these things to find your sound. Can you join me in giving a round of applause?
Thank you, thank you.
I mean, truly, man, you know how hard that is.
Yeah, man, it's definitely hard, and it took me, it took me a good year, 18 months. What are you laughing at? My accent, yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Anyway, if I could speak, if that's all right, love. When I spent a long time trying to find exactly what my sound was. And to be fair, when I first went out on my own, I wasn't even sure that I was definitely going to make a solo record, and kind of one thing led to another. And I kind of had to learn on the job who I am really as an artist, because I'd only really looked at myself as, the lad in a band. So all of a sudden I had to look at myself as an artist, as an individual. So that took a little bit of time, I think. So
talk to me, that's fascinating you say that, Louis. Talk to me about the moment, I guess, after you leave, the band goes their separate ways, that you're not thinking about a solo record. What was your apprehension? What was your hesitation in going solo?
I just wasn't ready. If I'm being honest, I just wasn't ready for the band to go on a break, to be honest. Oh, come on, Jesus. It surprised me to a certain degree. So I didn't have any plan in place or anything like that. I think I just thought that I was going to carry on writing for other people, but not necessarily for myself. And then, like I'm sure a lot of people in this situation, I did a bit of writing. I liked some of the songs I was writing. I thought, yeah, I might as well have a crack with this. Who's got the phone on? Get that on silent, love. I'm only joking. You shit yourself there.
It's better than a meet and greet. Well, talk to me about the difference here between songs you feel like you had to make in the past and then songs that we're getting nowadays that sound so good and they're songs you want to make.
I think it's quite evident, even in my performance or even in situations like this, that I just feel a lot more comfortable with what I'm doing now. I think because what I knew with One Direction was, chasing radio and getting as big a moment as possible. That's kind of all I really knew. So that was my expectations, albeit unrealistic. But I didn't know that at first, so I kind of had to work that out.
But isn't it, I just, as from the outside looking in, I feel like the music you're giving us right now, between We Made It and also Kill My Mind, these are songs that only you can sing.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah,
whereas
good.
You may have, and I'm, you're being so honest, so allow me to be honest, is that I feel like in the past you've had great solo songs, great songs you want to dance, you get up.
Oh, you're right. I know what you're about to say.
Yeah.
But please, carry on. No, you're right.
Louis like, I like this honesty.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this.
But maybe they weren't. Maybe there was the potential for it to be performed by somebody else. And what I'm saying is
a little bit more generic.
A little bit.
A little bit,
If
and
we-
I
yeah.
completely agree with that. I completely agree with that. You know, and that to a certain degree was me chasing radio. You know, and kind of making something that was safe, and that I thought was going to fit onto radio, and especially with that Steve song. You know, I love and respect Steve, and I love that song, and it's a special song to me. But sonically, it never really. I can't relate to those sounds. You know, so. In the end, I just thought, if I'm going to do this, you know, and it takes up a lot of my time, obviously, I need to do something I really love. So I feel good about that now.
You almost feel that you had to go through those songs to get to these songs.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's, you know, I've learned a lot on the job, really, and that was one of those situations where I do think I had to go through that stage of writing, working with like specific producers that maybe weren't right for me now, but at the time I had to learn from that. You know what I mean?
So much has changed. I mean, really, as we go around the room, you can all probably think of how much your lives has changed, how much our lives has changed. You know, since 4 or 5 years ago. Why is that funny?
Yeah, they're funny, aren't they? These lot.
But no, truly, on a serious note, so we've gone through so many personal experiences. In your life, have there been personal experiences over the past few years or since being in the group that you feel have enabled you to sort of find your voice more clearly?
I've always been pretty good at standing up for myself and getting my own way to a certain degree. Thank you. You're a lot of funny, aren't you? But I think what I've learned mostly about being out on my own, which is kind of an extension of what you just said, is I've learned to trust my gut more. And you know, I've said in a few interviews, there's a lot of opinion around me. A lot of people have, you know, a lot to say about what they think I should be. And I just got to stand strong and say, no, this is who I am, really. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's awesome. Please.
Am I going to get a round of applause every time? Yeah, I like that.
You did something cool on Spotify, and you may have done on other services, but I saw 28 songs, this cool playlist you put together. It's like songs that I guess you dig, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the idea behind it. And I'd
yeah.
love to just run through it a little bit, just not the whole 28 songs, but some of these artists, well, only if we could, that are on there, and just why you put them on. I think of like the Vampire Weekend. What do you like about those guys?
Amazing. Yeah, I've seen them live 2 or 3 times now, every time at a festival. But I think first festival I ever went to, which was Leeds Festival in England. Who's been? You lot been? No. Oh, right, okay.
She almost fell off the stage.
That's a bit of an anticlimax, isn't it? Yeah, Vampire Weekend were playing there, I think. So amazing band. And that's on Cousins. I've always loved that from being young. Used to play at the indie club near us, so that's great. And also just in general for the playlist, it's been really fun for me to kind of show the fans exactly what I like listening to. And you know, there's people who've come up to me and said, I've never heard of this song before or this artist before, and you know, it's on your playlist and it's cool or whatever. And yeah, it's proper cool for me, you know what I mean? Educating.
And then the final artist I just wanted to ask you about, because I love that you included her on your playlist, was Amy Winehouse. That's what she means to you.
Yeah, I've always been amazed by Amy Winehouse, you know, incredible writer. And I often talk about a level of detail in lyrics, because I'm a lyricist. I like my lyrics. And the level of detail that she goes into, I heard on a documentary that when something happens poignant in her life, she notes down all the detail around her, what she can see, what she can smell, what she's wearing, all these things. So you'll know them at a later date if you come to write about it. And I just think that level of detail is what makes it so genius.
Yeah. Do you have any tactics like that when you songwrite that are unique to you, you feel?
I'm not sure about unique to me. I'm always trying to be as conversational as possible. Someone like Alex Turner, I love his lyrics because they're kind of... Every time, yeah, I like that. I like his lyrics. It's kind of conversational and almost sounds that you don't really hear on the radio.
Right.
I've been in sessions where people want every single syllable to sound right, you know what I mean? And I think sometimes you've just got to go from your heart and the energy in the room, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, and I think you agree, right? We're trying to set the world record for applause in an interview.
Yeah, I know, wow, we're doing well.
Now, I thought it was interesting that you were in a cover band at 14, 15 years old.
Yeah.
What sort of songs were you covering back then?
Well, I think we were more of a tribute than a cover, to be honest. We only ever covered Green Day songs. This is a complete contrast. And Oasis in the same band. Yeah.
What a set list that must look like.
The set list existed of about 5 songs. We did it in rotation, you know what I mean, mixing between them. But that's actually definitely where I got the hunger to perform. Yeah. Felt good after that first performance at school, you know what I mean? It was at school, like a little school assembly. A bit like this.
And then, is this true? I was reading recently that in school you're a bit of a class clown. I was shocked by that, Louis. I was shocked.
Well, yeah. I mean, a little bit now as well. But when I was younger, I do like to show off a bit, make people laugh. You know what I mean? Definitely. Yeah.
Glad that hasn't changed.
Yeah.
Another thing in my research is that you're really into cereal.
Yeah, I like cereal. It's top. Yeah.
And so,
if cereal's getting a clap, it all will.
oh, I know, right? Food, oxygen. So, you know, we have so many great fans here that wanted to ask you a question. Of course, we don't have time for that. So I thought, what would be a cool way we could incorporate everybody? And so I know they're not Cocoa Pops, but we did get you a box of Cocoa Puffs that are signed by all these fans. So if you want to check out that right now. I heard that's your favorite cereal. Is this good information or bad information?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to make you eat it, don't worry, but there's some nice messages.
What a sick idea. That's
Isn't
good,
that kinda
that.
cool?
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Raise your hand if you signed that, just so Louis knows. Or no? No?
And what's wrong with you?
All right.
Like, you just didn't fancy it, no?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, okay. That's amazing.
All right, well, now that cereal's out of the way, you mind if we talk about Walls?
Please, yeah.
This is so exciting. January, we're getting the debut album. It's done, right? You finished the album?
Completely done, yeah.
What is the... It's good news. We're up to 40. What is the final song that you finished for the album?
It's actually the song that closes the album.
Is that why it closes the album?
No. It just felt like a really nice ending to the album. I don't want to. I've already given a lot of my song titles away, at least half the album. So I'm gonna hold this one, but it's a good one.
Okay.
And it's actually the only song on the album that I didn't write. So it gives a slightly different sound, a slightly different dynamic to it all, and I think it kind of glues all the rest together. It's a nice song.
So if it's the only song you didn't write, what was so special about it that you included it on the album?
It was just on the first listen. I mean, you know, every now and then, more at the start, less now because I think they've learned from it. But I'd often get sent through management or label different songs, and normally I like to be in the room. You know what I mean? I obviously like to have me right. Honestly, any more laughing? Anyway. It was more musically than anything. The song really stood out to me. And I thought it almost works as a nice little novelty. I've written the rest, and this one is, you know, kind of a slightly different style. So.
Right. What do you look for in ending tracks on albums? Because they are, you know, it's a great opportunity. You know, it's a lasting memory from the album.
I wish I could give you a more interesting answer than this. To be honest, I only really knew once I heard it. I didn't realise it because it's quite slow, actually.
Okay.
And I didn't necessarily want to end the album on that note, but it just feels like the right message, the right lyrics. So.
A finality on it.
Yeah. You know you'll get kicked out if you carry on. Hey.
Oh, we have people behind us.
Final warning.
Can they see us? Who knows? Oh, there's a guy over here. Oh, all right. We have a co-star. That was the final song you did. What song, and if you don't want to give away titles, that's totally cool, but what song took you the longest? Can you tell us about that song, to just finish, to write?
It's probably this song. We made it.
Really? Why?
I wrote this song about 2.5 years ago, maybe even longer now. Have you not been listening to any interviews today? I've said this about 20 times already. I wrote it about 2.5 years ago. I did it with Julian and John, who I'd done a lot of the One Direction stuff with. And I think I just wanted to be further on in the writing process so I could go boom, 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 and just release music more frequently. I knew that was a good song, but I wanted to get further on in the writing before I got into this phase of the album.
And excuse me if you've been asked this already today, but the concept... The concept behind the title Walls, if you could just share that. Yeah,
I have been asked this today, and I've not had a good answer at all. And do you know what? I wish I had something more imaginative, and some people probably bullshit in this situation. But I just thought it was thought-provoking. It's my favourite. It's a song on the album. There's a song called Walls. It's one of my favourite songs, if not my favourite song on the album. And I just thought it was a thought-provoking, interesting title, really. It's nothing too interesting, nothing too exciting behind the reason. Just that's why.
Are you, you announced tour, of course, and you guys are all going.
Very excited about that. Wow,
you're
there
be doing
it is.
Pier 17, I believe, here in New York City next June. It's funny, you're by no means doing intimate venues, but they're smaller venues than, say, the arenas you may have done as a part of the group. Are you looking forward to, you know, a smaller experience, this
Definitely.
more intimate, maybe?
Definitely. You know, every single tour we did with the band was incredible. You know, it goes without saying, but being in small rooms, you know, when we were first in the band for the first 6 months, we did this little like radio tour almost with across Scotland, and we played really tiny gigs, the smallest gigs we ever played, and we will all say they're some of our favourite shows. There's something really special about playing small venues, so yeah, I'm really excited about that.
That's awesome. When you think back to those, like, you know, stadium shows, arena shows, and, you know, I think the media always uses these terms like brothers or, you know, a family. When you're in a group that just has that much success and you go through such a unique experience, how would you relate it to, you know, the casual person? Is it like classmates? Is it like a fraternity? Like is it as strong as a brotherhood?
Yeah, I think brother's the best way of putting
Really?
it,
Okay.
because you know the experience that we went through was, you know, unique, and the only people who can, on your own, the only people who can relate to that is, you know, each of us. So I think we'll always have that love and respect for each other. And in the same way, you know, we used to wind each other up in the band, and used to get on each other's nerves if one of us was tired or whatever. So I think definitely like brothers.
Did you lead the charge in the winding me up?
Obviously.
A little bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was actually really cool, and another thing I'm sure you've been asked about, but I thought it was interesting when Liam in a recent interview, you know, said he goes to you in times of crisis. I thought it just spoke volumes about not even just you guys as bandmates, but you as a person, you know. And why do you think Liam said that? Why do you think he does that?
I don't know. I think going into the band, it feels slightly different now, but going into the band, I was the oldest. And even if the boys thought it or not, I always felt a little bit of responsibility, you know what I mean, on that level. And I think in those situations, I've always been pretty approachable for Liam or any of the boys, to be honest, you know, if they need to chat or whatever. So I'm honoured that he said that, though. It's proper nice of him.
It's pretty nice. Well, and of course, with respect to Liam, I'm not asking for any private information, but what does he typically go to you for advice on? Do you remember the last time he called you? Like, what does he want to talk about?
I think normally we're just like, in the last couple of months, we won't speak to each other that often, but, you know, I'll ring him and we'll speak on phone for like a good 3 hours and cover everything. I mean, literally everything.
Is it more personal than business?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, but sometimes the two intertwine, obviously. And, you know, you're talking about some of the struggles you might be having in your work life, and he'll say the same kind of thing. And, you know, I think it's important because at the end of the day, it's a crazy job what we do. You know what I mean? Wow. You need to be able to talk to someone about it, I think.
Right. I want to ask you about another thing you said about another member recently, and I'll give you the opportunity to give a different answer. But you said that if you could be any celebrity, you'd be Niall, because nothing bothers Niall.
Yeah.
He's calm, cool, collected. Is that still the celebrity you would be for one day?
Definitely.
Wow.
It's just like it just sounds so stress-free. I once seen some fans talking online saying, it's easy to be a Niall fan, isn't it? And it is. Just no drama, lovely lad, you know what I mean? Never gets himself in trouble. Like, yeah, it's easy. It's a good life.
Yeah. Do you have any plans for Halloween?
I'm not a man for dressing up, to be honest. I've done a little bit in past. I think, when is Halloween? What day?
Thursday.
Yeah. I don't even know where I'm going to be, to be honest. I've not really thought about it, but I probably won't dress up unless I feel peer pressure really bad, and then I'll make half an effort.
Are you a favorite, are you a scary movie kind of guy, or no? Halloween's not your season?
I don't mind scary movies. Scary movies, really. I don't mind scary movies, yeah. Yeah, they're all right. Most of them have got a pretty rubbish storyline, though, haven't they? There's not many good ones.
Right. Yeah.
Give me a good one to watch. I'm putting you on the spot. Anyone? Scary movie?
I like Scream, man.
Scream?
I like Scream. Okay. Do you have It Chapter 2?
We just said Stranger Things.
Stranger Things?
Oh, right.
Is that scary? We're going to get to, actually, we have just a ton of fan questions. We're going to get to as many as we can. The first of which, though, is we had a contest, we had a giveaway, and one of the prizes, the third place prize, was for anyone that couldn't be here today, they could ask a question from home. And I do want to shout her out. She is Allie Vernig from California, and she wants to know, when it comes to writing, how do you combat writer's block when you come into contact with writer's block?
I think it's always important creatively to, you know, not work too much, because, you know, there's a limit to how much you can do, definitely. I think just be confident in what you do. I think sometimes, like writer's block, it can, you know, if you have one day writing that's not very good, and then you go in the next day and the next day is not very good, it can kind of snowball a little bit. So I think just staying confident and just keep doing it, really.
Is it something you should take a step back from, or is it something you personally work through?
I think it depends on the situation. It depends how long you've been working writing. I did have a moment on this record where I did need to take a break from writing because I felt like I was writing every single day, and there was, you know, a new concept every day, new lyrics every day. It was a lot to think about, and I felt like the quality suffered a little bit. So I think depending on the situation.
All right, cool. Let's kick it to Twitter right now. We have a question from over there. Alessia? Oh, Michelle. There we go. All right, Michelle wants to know, how excited are you to come to Brazil? We love you.
Proper excited. Brazil is amazing. Brazil's amazing. Yeah, that's one of the places that I made sure that we were going on the tour. I've had amazing experiences there with the band. Like, it's mental there.
That's awesome. All right, there you go, Michelle. Now, we have a ton of fans that you can probably see on your screen at home here in the studio in New York City, and we're going to get to our first fan question. It's going to be, is it Emma? Now, this is really cool. Emma won a contest. She was the grand prize winner. She made a cool little video dancing to one of your songs, singing one of your songs, too. And
show us the moves.
Yeah, can we see some moves?
I'm joking. You don't have to.
You want to bust a move?
2 a.m. dancing moves.
Okay.
But no,
sounds fun.
You know, I'll let Emma tell her story, but you've had a really beautiful impact on Emma's life, and I'll just let her ask this question.
It just totally escaped my brain. Your music has always made me feel seen, loved, and that the lyrics were made especially for me. Is there any like album or any artist that makes you feel like that?
That were written just for me. That I felt the lyrics are talking to me. Of course there are. I'm trying to think of a specific song off the top of my head now. I can't think of anything specific. There's some lyrics in Champagne Supernova, Oasis. Oh, come on. I'm allowed to say an Oasis song. That I think are really thought-provoking and really interesting. But in terms of like how they relate to me, I'm not sure. That was a shit answer. Sorry, love. Are we live, by the way? Should I not be swearing? Are we live?
We're on the internet.
Okay. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah. It's Friday.
Exactly.
Well, to that point, do you find yourself more? Do you see yourself seen more in like literature or film than music? Like in terms of if you're gonna find yourself in art or feel like something's speaking to you.
I don't know. It's a bit deep for me. That I just get on with it. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, cool. Let's get to the next fan question. It'll come from over here.
Hi, my name's Ariana. It's nice to meet you, Louis.
Nice to meet you too, love.
I was wondering what song most recently inspired you or made you feel like you could achieve anything?
There's a few, but in general, it was more of a sound thing than a lyric thing. And I've spoke before, there was a second where I kind of fell out of love with music a little bit. I wasn't hearing a lot of stuff that I really loved. And then I found a really amazing playlist and started playing some of the older stuff that I used to like listening to. And Sam Fender is an artist, and the way he sounds musically, you like Sam?
I love Sam Fender, man.
It made it was like really impressive. I'm like, this is how it's meant to be. So that probably inspired me.
It's awesome. Huge Sam fan. Let's get up front right here. What's your name?
Oh, look at you. Come on down.
I'm Faith. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, love.
Are there any songs on the next album that challenged you musically or took you outside of your comfort zone?
I'd say to a certain degree, for like different reasons, Kill My Mind was that song because I had to be brave and like be like, this is who I want to be. But to a certain degree, you know, from writing, especially the kind of stuff that, you know, we wrote in the band, that was kind of a bold step for me to say, this is who I want to be, really. So I'd say it was that song.
Thank you.
And then we have time for, is it one more? Time for one more question. I'll come right up here. What's
Make it a good one.
Hi.
Yeah, no pressure.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Alyssa, and my question was, are there any lyrics on your new album that hold any like great significance to you?
I mentioned it today, and I like about We Made It. I like that lyric that says, I don't know why they put all of this on us when we're so young. We've done a pretty good job. I think it's quite thought-provoking, and I think fans hearing that, it's kind of nice to hear that. So, yeah, I'll go with that.
Great job. Nicely done, guys. Louis, we're unfortunately out of time. But the
Thanks
big
for having
news,
me.
of course,
Thanks for
we
having
can
me.
now enjoy this. We Made It is out and available everywhere. Kill My Mind, of course, still stream that. And then our tickets available now for tour. Do we know
Not
that?
yet.
Not yet. They're November 1st, right?
I better look at you guys.
November
Not yet,
1st?
Right? Yeah, cool. Friday? Yeah.
November 1st, thank you.
Being unorganized, yeah. Just about.
So if you're watching at home, November 1st, you can pick up passes to the World Tour. Once again, guys, the one and only Louis Tomlinson.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone at home.
Bye.